Let's get educated. That's why we're here, to bring you the stories impacting K-12 classrooms and college campuses. It's time for a little education.
Well, greetings and welcome, everybody. I am Katie Patrick, joined by that guy, David Fiorazzo.
Hi, guys, gals, people.
People of all nations.
Fellow citizens, fellow family members, believers in Christ. And just those just watching by accident because you came across us somehow on social media. Hi, wait, stay here. We got some great stories for you.
Including stories on Worldview Matters. What are you talking about this week?
That's right. Today, we talked to Scott Shera. He's a dad that lost his daughter in an awful situation during COVID. She was 19 years old, had Down syndrome, and because of COVID protocols, three different drugs were given to her at a hospital that should never have been administered at the same time. And there's a lawsuit now. But his name is Scott Shera. We talked to him this morning. Tomorrow we've got George Carneal. He's a former homosexual. Oh, can you say former? And Thursday, John Haller, prophecy expert and pastor in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio. Great week. By the way, thanks for putting that up, guys. Subscribe to our email updates. You only get one or two, maybe, a week. And that's worldviewmatters.TV. And as always, remember to share us on social media, both Worldview Matters, the new show, and this show, Educated, because, the powers that be don't always like what we discuss, so they will censor, suppress, shadow ban.
Ooh, scary words.
So thanks for sharing.
Things I haven't. All right, well, check out Worldview Matters. But before you do, stay around and watch what we're going to do here. And before we even get to that, just a quick reminder that if you enjoy the video platform Rumble, we are now uploading all of our content to our new channel over there. So simply visit rumble.com/FreedomProject and follow us. Now, the head of America's second largest teachers union, Randy, says that conservatives are using terms like, parental rights and choice the same way that racists tried to keep schools segregated. So Randy is talking about the racists, David.
Oh, boy. This is one of your favorite, school representatives. Anyway.
Randy Weingarten.
She is the president of the AFT, American Federation of Teachers, and she compared parental rights and school choice to language used by racial segregationists during an interview. This is ridiculous. I don't know how many people on the left that are being fed this actually believe it.
Too many.
No, but let's watch this video. Go ahead. Go say something.
Before we hear what she says,
yes.
Just remember that Randy Weingarten, before she became the president and all this, she was supposedly a history teacher or a social studies teacher. So keep that in mind.
Allegedly, supposedly.
All of these things.
Watch this video. We'll come back and talk about it.
What Betsy DeVos, what Milton Friedman, what the billionaire conservative class that never wanted public education, the same kind of roots that happened in the aftermath of Brown v. Board. Those same words that you heard in terms of wanting segregation post Brown v. Board of Education, those same words you hear today. It's not. I was kind of gobsmacked when I was talking to Southern Poverty Law Center, and they showed me the same words: choice, parental rights, an attempt to divide parents versus teachers. And that point, it was white parents versus other parents.
Yes, we're better in a union. Solidarity. The communists' clenched fist. Anyway, where did that come from? Start paying attention, guys. They're not hiding it anymore. But anyway, they're talking about book banning. And it's interesting. Another day this week, we do a story about book banning because the left doesn't want parents to go in and say, I don't think that book is appropriate for my children. But anyway, she's talking about that. She's talking about parental rights and choice. So, Katie, I thought that the radicals, I thought that the left, I'm sorry, I thought that the Democrats were pro-choice. But they don't like school choice. Can you explain that to me, please?
They do not want They want to have the choice to kill the children, and then they don't want any of those children who actually survive and make it out of the womb to have the choice to go to school to get educated, because then they might be educated and sentenced. They just might be educated.
Oh, they might get out of a public school if they have choice. They might go to a private or a Christian school.
They might.
And we can't allow that. If you're
and then they wouldn't rinse and repeat what Randy Weingarten and company want them to do. That's the problem. So we can't have school choice, but they want the choice so that we can, get rid of the kids before they even are out of the womb and able to then go on to have a choice for school. Yeah.
So let me quote her again.
Words are important, and she's saying these words are all the same thing,
In
except
fact, wait
they're
a minute.
not to her.
Before we do that, I think we've got another video. Play that, and we'll talk about this.
What they really want is the end of public education as we know it. So they really want universal vouchers. So a RUFA will say, we need to create universal public school distrust to get to universal vouchers. Others want it because they hate knowledge, or they fear broad-based knowledge. Remember what Trump said? He liked the ignorant people. And some want it because they see that what they want. I mean, look at what DeVos said about they want to have basically a Christian ideology. Their particular Christian ideology dominate the country.
Okay.
Oh, zinger! You hear that zinger at the end?
Yes.
But can we go back to the beginning?
Oh, all right. Go ahead.
I got lost too, because she just Randy. At the beginning, she says they want the end of public education as we know it. Jeez. Yes, I do want the end of public education as we know
Agreed.
it. Because as I know it, it is
the government system
good.
Today
Correct.
That puts out social
I want
justice
the end of that.
activists and
Absolutely.
teaches Marxism and evolution.
Yep. And then at the end, though,
else.
David, tie into what she said. This is where I'm gonna pitch you a nice softball.
Radical Randy said, remember
there.
what Trump said. He liked the ignorant people. They want to have basically a Christian ideology, those ignorant people. Their particular Christian ideology dominate the country, as opposed to a country that was born on the freedom of the existence of religion.
Remember when I told you a couple minutes ago that Randy Weingarten was a history teacher? And as a history teacher, you should know how this country was founded and what it was founded upon.
Yes, but that's not convenient anymore.
Randy. She seems to think that we need to follow the one phrase of separate but equal, which that part's true. But go back, Mike. I'm trying to get the point of they want what am I trying to think of?
I don't know.
Baptist, Jefferson.
Oh, separation of church.
Separation of church. I was going wrong. Okay. Randy likes to believe that we need to go only to the one little letter to the Baptists from Jefferson when he was preaching in front of the Baptists, and separation of the church and the state. That's all we use. Separation of the church and the state.
Which is not in the Constitution.
Fact check.
Yeah.
False. That is not what is actually intended by the founding of the country. If you read any of our founders growing up, but you didn't. So, Randy, you get an F for today.
Second biggest lie in America, the separation of church and state. What the left means by that is let's get any biblical morality or Christianity out of the public square. They should not have any influence on all the major institutions or our culture, just secular and atheist influence and the radicals, right? Remove the Christian, or you can keep it behind church walls. Anyway, we'll talk about that another time. That's a big issue. But anyway, still to come. Chicago's Teachers Union president is being called a hypocrite, really, after it was discovered that her child attends a private Christian school. This is, of course, calling school, after they called school choice racist. We're going to talk about that. Uh-oh.
David, you must do as I say and not as I do.
Wait, I didn't know you were a Democrat.
I'm not. All right. Well, we have the Chicago Teachers Union president, Stacey Davis Gates, who thinks like that. That's how that one must live. do as I say, but not as I actually do.
Yep.
Because she went on CNN recently, and she defended her actions in sending her son to a private school. Okay, remember, she is the president of the Chicago Teachers Union.
There's Stacy.
So, they're supposed to be all in favor of teachers' unions, in the public education,
Right.
not a
Solidarity.
private school. Let's just take a look at it, a little spin on this one.
I'm also a mother. My children go to the Chicago Public Schools. These are things that help to legitimize my space within the coalition.
That was Chicago Teachers Union President Stacey Davis Gates 18 months ago. She's been publicly against it, but does support private school for her own kid. We are not naming the school or her child, but we have seen the social media posts, and multiple sources confirmed to us her child enrolled this year at a Chicago Catholic high school. Last year, in a Chicago Magazine article, Gates said, quote, "I can't advocate on behalf of public education without it taking root in my own household." Publicly, Gates has voiced strong opposition to school choice in the Illinois Invest in Kids program that allows for tax credits that benefit private schools. On social media, Gates said, quote, "School choice was actually the choice of racists. It was created to avoid integrating schools with black children." She also posted a link to this article titled, "The Racist Origins of Private School Vouchers." Gates' family neighborhood school is Harlan High School. It ranks 437 out of 664 Illinois high schools. Other political leaders have chosen to send their children to private schools, including former mayors Rahm Emanuel, Lori Lightfoot, and Richard Daley, as well as Governor J.B. Pritzker.
Here we go!
Mayor Brandon Johnson's teenager does not attend the family's West Side neighborhood school, but rather a magnet school across town. While Gates is paying more than $16,000 a year tuition for her child to attend a Catholic high school, the Invest in Kids program that helps others who cannot afford that amount is on life support, as the General Assembly did not decide yet whether to extend funding for the program. The Chicago Teachers Union and other teachers' unions have lobbied vigorously to oppose it.
So someone's a bit
Dear
of a...
Lord. Oh, so Katie,
someone's
what?
a bit of a hypocrite
So many
there.
of them on the left, lefties, Marxists, socialists, they send their kids to private schools, but yet they are absolutely against school choice and all the hypocrisy. So what is their explanation for the most part? Because it happens in every state with a lot of them on the left.
Do as I say, not as I do, David.
But
Get
they've
in
got to
line.
have some explanation for it. What do they
Oh.
say? How do they respond?
Well,
to
here's
this.
what happened with why this became big news.
Okay.
Kind of. The CNN primetime host Abby Phillip. So again,
So the
she
Communist News Network got a hold of this
yes,
story.
and actually did a good job
did?
of actually discussing it. If we had that clip,
Okay.
She actually questioned Davis Gates on the whole, like, hey, look at your history. You have said
This.
all these bad things, as you saw in that
But you
in
have
that
done
news clip.
this.
And yet, here we are. Phillips said that you've likened in the past private schools to today to, quote, segregation academies of the Jim Crow South. Why then send your child to a private school after speaking out so publicly against them? And her answer was, look.
Next question.
Yeah, so
Squirrel.
as you know, Davis Gates was elected president, or maybe you don't know, last year in 2022, and she served as the executive vice president of the Illinois Federation of Teachers. She actually placed her teenage son in a Catholic high school located in the Chicago's South Side, and that was according to that report by NBC Chicago.
So,
But she said that last year that having her children in public schools would help to legitimize her position. And then what she basically was able to, the spot came open, essentially. And so, it's about my child. It's for my child. So then the son went to the Catholic high school now.
so she has 2 children in public schools and 1 or 2 in the Catholic school. I'm a little confused, but anyway, let's just say she has both. All right.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep. Do as I say, not as I do.
Yep.
That's how they roll. Just look away. Nothing else to talk about here.
Nothing to see here. Move along.
All right, but make sure you bring your eyes back because we have an unhinged Florida preschool teacher ranting on TikTok about how she tells her students they can choose their family and apparently, hey, you too can be gay. We're going to talk about it next.
Today's show is sponsored by our friends at MyPillow. Save up to 66% on pristine quality bedding, towels, slippers, signature pillows, and much more when you use the code EDUCATED. That's EDUCATED. Educated. Support this show and a great American company.
Well,
Who's unhinged?
Everyone's unhinged. I'm unhinged. Don't send your kids to preschool. Because if you do, and you're sending kids to preschool earlier and earlier, basically out of the womb is preschool now, you're going to get grown adults who are supposed to be watching your toddlers, but then they're actually acting as immature as the toddlers, and in some instances, more immature than the toddlers. And right now we're going to insert Dee Dee Duffy, whose TikTok account name is Waterbug, or WATR_bug. Well, I don't know. She's got about 17,000 followers. Look at her go. No bio, though. Only a cat picture. Here, come here. If you see someone with a profile picture of a cat, run away. Just run away.
Run. Oh, my goodness.
The more you know.
So
the more
Katie...
you know. Anyway, Dee Dee.
Oh, Dee Dee.
That's her name, if you'd like to address her.
Dee Dee Duffy. Dee Dee.
Dee Dee is reportedly a preschool teacher in Cape Coral, Florida. Okay. She took to TikTok, as one does, to have some words about how she teaches students that they can choose their family, and she claimed it had nothing to do with her queerness.
Oh, okay.
And this same woman said that she teaches her students to be gay. So let's hear Dee Dee speak on this topic.
Yep. Go ahead.
I feel like I had to learn the concept of chosen families really young, and it wasn't anything to do with my queerness, but just based on the fact that I didn't have the love at home that I needed, and I knew that I was valuable and deserved it, so I found it on my own early on. And, I shouldn't be blamed for that, because blood still exists. You were never there for me, and I found my own love, and that's okay, and I think everybody should be allowed to do that, and that's what I teach in the classroom, okay? I always say give it to your friend, not your mom, because your mom. And I don't know, I just am so sad.
Okay, let me just say right off the top here, it's heartbreaking. It's sad. She's got problems. And it's really sad to see these people with these mental health conditions. And these are the depressives and the ones that lash out, act out, try to influence children and end up committing suicide, or at least attempting suicide, or they're on drugs or whatever. I feel bad for this person, Dee Dee. So I'll say that right away. That being said, these are the people, Katie, that are influencing children.
Well,
she's the influencer. 17,000 people are following her on that one account. And Katie, she's saying things like "F your mom" or whatever, or you can make up. You can create your own, choose your own family. Katie, I ask you this a lot. Sometimes I joke about it, but we say, I'm sure this is just one isolated incident, right? It's not. It is not. We could do show after show after show, filling up with these disgusting videos of people that are influencing young children away from God, their parents, biblical morality. And it's sad we could do that, but we don't want to. So this is not just one isolated incident.
I argue we have done that, actually. We've done these stories.
Oh,
how many of them?
Yeah.
But we could do so many more.
Yeah.
And
They're
immediately after actually watching the clip, what came into my mind was hurt people, right? Hurt people. And she is a hurt person, and now she is going to be hurting the children by putting onto these children what she has been hurt by. And isn't it interesting, David, how that's exactly what we have happening in the classroom, in libraries, in even public outlets where we have drag queens who have to be reading to children or dancing provocatively in front of children. Why do these grown men who get all dressed up have to do it in front of children? Why don't you go to the senior center and do that?
Why don't you entertain someone your own age?
Why is it that these people, preschool teachers, elementary teachers, high school, why is it that they are all going in front of the children? Because the children are the innocent and they are trying to, I don't know, get acceptance from them because they didn't get it when they were a child. We don't know how each individual works, but it's around that kind of understanding.
It is an agenda. It is an agenda. I mean, dictators throughout history, I don't mean to name drop Hitler, but they were very perceptive about the importance of reaching children and indoctrinating them. The Hitler Youth, they brainwashed kids. They knew if you get to the kids, you've won a generation that will win it for you in the future if you brainwash them when they're young. So it is an agenda. But you said something very important, Katie, and we could probably point this out in 9 out of 10 stories we do on the LGBT, on transgender people changing their bodies, on this woman really hurt people, and they are angry and they want to take it out on something or someone. So all they can do is rebel against God, their creator, who loves them still, by the way, and they want to rebel against their parents. In this case, her mom or whoever wasn't there for her. She hates her sister, and now she's just, I want to tell people they can choose their own family.
Yep.
Well, no. You can choose your friends. You can choose who you hang around. But God ordains you to be born how you are, male or female, and in whatever family. No family is perfect. And if you've been through a lot of hard things in your family, a trauma or whatever, God did not intend that. But he decides, here's the family you're going to be born in, and for such a time as this, when we are born, also God ordains all that. So we're taking away his sovereignty, and we want to take that control and say, okay, I'm going to do this, and it is an act of rebellion.
It is. All right, well, let's change topic because I'm a little hungry. So still to come, we have a food delivery guy with nearly 150,000 TikTok followers who is sharing his tips for making the big dollars, providing premium service while working his side hustle in Philly. Stay with us.
If you have a smartphone, tablet, Roku, or Apple TV, consider downloading the FreedomProject Media app. It's 100% free and includes all of our weekly shows, plus lecture series, archive programs, and award-winning animated videos for families like the Presidential Minute, Battles of America, and Heroes of the West. Don't rely on the social media giants to keep you informed. Simply download the Freedom Project Media app from your app store and allow notifications. And we'll let you know when a new video is ready.
I've been quite busy in the last couple of years.
Yes.
And I now do things differently for convenience. I order groceries. Oh. And sometimes I order food, meals to be delivered. Use all kinds of different, some are more expensive than others, but this next story is kind of interesting. A food delivery driver hunting for big tips says he declines 75% of the orders and hangs out in wealthy areas. Now, that wouldn't be my area necessarily, but if you're in a third world country, of course, we're all wealthy in America.
True.
He says, I'm not doing this to gamble. I'm doing this to make money. So if you don't tip, and if you don't tip well, don't expect Jay to pick up your food and deliver your order. So there he is.
Go Jay.
Yeah, he's from Philly, 22 years old, and he works for primarily DoorDash and Uber Eats. And he makes some decent money, but it's interesting. He looks at how people tip before he decides whether he's going to be your delivery person.
Yeah, so he has 148,000 TikTok followers. Oh, 148 and a half. Sorry, Mr.
5.
Downtown Hustle. Don't mean to insult you. But he kind of lays out some little tips and tricks for what he does with this little side hustle of his in the Philadelphia area. Now, he basically logs into his delivery apps. He chooses whether to accept or pass on which ones.
So delivery people can do this.
Yeah, I guess they choose what they do. And you see he's on a bicycle, well, kind of looked like a powered bike. I think, did he get some power assistance? That looks like an assisted bike. Anyway, but he's still on a bicycle in Philadelphia. And so one of the things is thinking in wintertime as well. People don't want to deliver in wintertime. He's like, whatever, I'll do it.
He takes advantage of that.
Yeah, he takes advantage of that because people don't want to go out, and then he gets bigger tips because they feel bad that he had to be the one to go out. He must be so cold.
I'll give him an extra $10.
Yeah, exactly. But when he takes a look at it, he says he gets like basically an average base pay somewhere between $2 and $2.50.
Hear me out. $24 for 1.3 miles, but it's Wendy's? We know how that's gonna go. I think we just pull up and see, oh, we're getting an add-on. $16 add-on? Oh my God, for another Wendy's. That double makes it like $40, right? We're taking the double. I'm gonna take all 3 of them. Excuse me, sir. Okay. Take your time, thank you. Yeah, I have 3 Uber Eats orders. Alicia, Atia, and Na. Oh wow.
It's Alicia.
Yeah. All right, what about the drinks? Am I filling them up or are you filling them up? They're around the corner?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. There's no drinks, no fountain drinks for the other ones, but I have a bunch of Frosty. Excuse me. Thank you, sorry. Can I have a carrier too, please?
We only got chocolate Frosties.
Can you make them a large then? A large chocolate instead of large
It's the
vanilla?
large right here.
All right, I need one more of the small chocolate then. And I'm still waiting on for Atia.
Yeah, I got it right here.
All right, thank you. I'm coming right back for that, okay? Someone said that's not worth it. Listen, we aim for $40 in an hour, and that stack is going to be $40.
I think people should be tipping for the premium service that they're being provided. Come on, you're on a bike, you're bringing me a fast food meal. That's premium service, right?
But here is I like to say, and David, I guess your company excluded, the people who tend to do the Uber Eats and DoorDash tend to be lazier individuals overall, or more concerned about the world around us overall and going in and finding germs. Because as our friend Jay said, during COVID times, people would get grocery orders, and so he was the one willing to go into the grocery store and pick up all the orders during the COVID. He said on $250 to $300 grocery orders, people were tipping $100. He said because they were just so petrified to step foot in the grocery store, and they were so thankful that someone else was willing to do it.
Wow.
All right.
Isn't that sad, though?
A little bit. When I read it, you can read it a couple different ways. I read that as that's sad that we... And then the same people are saying... Maybe the same people are saying, give me the money, government, help me out. I just spent $100 extra.
So you can't catch COVID by any germs touching anything or
yeah.
Anyway, that's a whole nother
the way
conversation.
he wrote it, I was like, yeah, Jay, I hear you.
Let's move on.
That's a whole
All right.
thing. All right, fine. Just a quick reminder that you can catch Educated on the go by subscribing to the podcast on your favorite platform. And of course, don't forget to download the Freedom Project app and click yes for notifications so that we can tell you when a new episode is ready.
Yes.
Now for David, for myself, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And thank you for supporting this show. Until next time, stay educated.